Okay, I'm at 199 Humboldt. This is down in the basement area. This is the common area for the building. This is the meter room. You can see that the apartments are listed as L and R. So we believe that your disconnect for the electrical is 1R, right? It's a 50 amp, 60 amp disconnect, right? Even if it is 1L, it's still a 60 amp disconnect. So this is where you would power off your service panel, which I'll show you where that is later, right? In this mechanical room, besides the electric meters and the electric disconnects, they also have the main water coming in over here, right? And then they have the building sprinkler system over here, all right? And then this is the main waste piping, these black pipes that go down across over here, and it drains out. See, there's the trap right over there. So everything's gonna lead down over here, right? This is the main buildings service switch. So that's gonna power outside, some outside stuff, hallway lights, things of that nature. All right, as I step back, you can see that there's a little bit of microbial growth. I'm not allowed to call it mold in New York because you have to observe it under a microscope to say something like that. But you can definitely see there's some growth over here on the sheetrock. So at the very least, this should really be cleaned. And then as I back out over here to my right, you can see these are all the gas meters for the apartments, for all the apartments. And if I look for yours, it is (1B). It's the first one. So if you need to shut off the gas, right, you're going to turn this where this hole lines up with this hole. You turn this to the right, and that'll shut all the gas to the apartment. All right, so that's the meter room. All right. Okay. Then we have a little area underneath the steps over here. And this is for one of the apartments. I don't know if it's yours or the one next door, but it looks like there's a waste ejector pump. So any drains from the bathrooms are going to go into here, and they're going to pump up and out and over to the area where I showed you that they go out. And then back there they have just some electronics, low voltage stuff, and some stored items over here. Okay, then we're going to go to the basement of 1B, which is called 0B. Right, the steps go up over here. Right, we're in the bedroom, or I don't know if this is a bedroom or not, but you can see the sprinkler head. Right, this light is missing. This light is missing. Right, the other lights over here are fine. This is the main panel right underneath the steps. Right. I noticed when the cover was on, there's openings in the panel. You can see that they had added a little knockout cover. You can use more of those to fill it in, or you can put spare breakers in here. I noticed a couple of the lights on the exterior and the outlets aren't working. And so I came down here to check and see if there was any tripped breakers. I did find this one loose one. I don't know what this is powering. It's listed on the box as kitchen, but everything was on in the kitchen. And you can also see that there's two wires onto this one breaker. That's referred to as double tapping. So that's something that should be separated. Again, this is as simple as just adding another breaker on here, okay? Besides that, everything at the panel looks good. All right. Here is the washer dryer. I have them turned on. They're running a cycle. Everything seems to be working fine. Right, I did notice that it looks like they may have had some water leakage down over here. You can see some damage and some microbial growth over here. So you may want to pull these out and just figure out if it's just cleaning or maybe remove some of the drywall over there. Okay. So the first floor, it's telling me that we're having problem with getting power to the thermostat. So I can't turn on the AC or the heat for the first floor. So this is gonna have to be taken care of, figured out what's going on. This is the equipment. You actually have two separate furnaces, right? They're gas furnaces, and there's two separate AC condensers that come to evaporator coils. So they're two completely different systems, right? This one says first floor, and this one says basement. Okay, this is the water heater. You can see a little bit of corrosion on the supply lines. That's just a dielectric reaction. You know, just keep an eye on it. It shouldn't need any kind of repair, but just in case, keep an eye on it. This is the discharge tube. If the water heater gets too hot, it's going to relieve pressure, and you don't want that to come out this way and scald somebody. So they typically have a pipe that they put over here, which terminates just off the floor. And that's fairly easy to install. They actually sell those extension pipes already made in Home Depot or Lowe's, or a local hardware store should be able to put something together for you. The water heater is manufactured in 2006, which makes it about 14 years old. Typical water heaters are designed to last anywhere from 7 to 12 years. This is the thermostat for you to adjust it. There's two ways that a water heater typically will go bad. The first is you'll turn the thermostat up as high as possible, and it'll stop making hot water. Right now, you've got hot water, and you can see the thermostat's not turned all the way up. So you've got a little room for that. The second way that a water heater goes bad is it will burst. And there's no way of predicting when that can happen. So, you know, I would recommend definitely when you install the next water heater, you could go either with a tankless, which will give you a little more space down here, or put a little pan underneath here, and then you could just put a little water alarm. I always recommend when you have newer water heaters to drain some of the water out of the bottom over here, and that'll make the water heater last a lot longer. You know, typically people who do that may have a water heater that lasts 20 years. Right, and then there's this drain pipe that I haven't figured out what it's for yet. I'll get back to you when we go up to the second floor. But I noticed that when I was down over here. Right, and if you need to shut the gas to any of the appliances, it's these little red handles over here. You know, parallel to the pipe, perpendicular is closed. So all you gotta do is shut it, and it'll turn off the gas. So you've got one line for the water heater, one line for the furnace here, and then oh, I guess this is just, I guess the second one is just for AC, not for heat. Okay. And then down here is the bathroom. I checked the toilet, make sure it's secure, it flushes. You've got ground fault circuit interrupters over here. Those are the outlets with the reset buttons, right? So it says on there you're supposed to test them monthly just to make sure that they work. You know, you don't have to have this device to test it. There's a little test button, so you could just press it, it'll shut, turn it, it'll turn back on. If it doesn't shut, then it's a mechanical device, you just got to replace it, okay? The sink, everything is draining down properly. You know, they have a floor drain over here. I'm not quite sure where that leads to. I did notice on the floor over here, it looks like you could use some grout. Right, there's a little discoloration of the grout, so you may want to just re-grout this to make it look a little nicer. this closet, I didn't find anything. In this closet, I didn't find anything. In the bedroom over here, everything was good. Now, these windows, they do not have screens. They're not really conducive to set up screens. So if you're going to want to install some sort of screen system, your best bet is probably just to use like one of those little magnetic screens. For the sliding glass door, there's no screen as well. But this does have a track over here to add a sliding glass screen. So it's up to you if you want to add that, and I'll put it in the report. So this over here is wired backwards. See these two lights? It should be this one and this one. So as a result, if I go to trip it, it's not tripping, right? But if I turn around and hit the test button, it does turn off. So this is something that just needs to be corrected. That's a simple fix. And then you can see that they have a drain here, and you can see there's water running down. It appears that the hose is leaking. Over here, the shutoff isn't working. So I tried to turn around and shut this completely off, and it just keeps running. So that's something that definitely should be taken care of. Right, the downspout is a little close. That's for the gutter system above, over here. Maybe just put a small extension to get a little closer to the drain, but you do have a good slope, so it's not the end of the world if you leave it like that. And then I noticed that the light up here, the switch isn't working, so I don't know if this is a bulb or going back to the power problem that I'm having with the upstairs. So, all right, I'm gonna go upstairs and finish up, and I'll take another video up there.